The airport was already awake long before sunrise, and the sound of rolling bags and soft announcements filled the air. People moved in lines that never seemed to end, and everyone looked focused on reaching somewhere else. Flight 317 was delayed, and the waiting area slowly became crowded with tired travelers. Some leaned on walls while others stared at their phones trying to forget the long wait. David sat quietly in the first row of the first-class waiting section. This seat meant more to him than anyone around could imagine. He had never flown first class before, and he was nervous but proud at the same time. The ticket had cost him months of extra work and careful saving. Every long night shift and every sore muscle had led to this small reward. David worked as a repairman fixing old elevators in tall buildings. His job was difficult and sometimes dangerous. He often came home late with aching shoulders and tired eyes. Still, he never complained because work was work and it kept life moving. This flight was supposed to be his moment of rest and comfort. As David waited, he noticed a woman standing a few steps away from the main seating area. Her name was Anna, though he did not know that yet. She held her belly gently and leaned against a pillar for support. Her breathing was slow and careful, as if each breath required effort. Her face showed signs of exhaustion that no makeup could hide. The delay continued, and more passengers filled the space. Seats in the economy section were completely full. Some people stood while others sat on their bags. The air felt heavy and warm with impatience. Anna shifted her weight from one foot to the other. Her legs were swollen and her back looked stiff with pain. She tried to remain calm, but the discomfort was clear. A nearby child bumped into her by accident, and she almost lost her balance. She steadied herself quickly and whispered a soft apology, even though it was not her fault. David saw this moment clearly. He looked at Anna and then back at his first-class seat. He told himself that he had earned his place. He reminded himself that no one had helped him when his life was hard. He tried to focus on his own needs. An announcement echoed through the terminal. The staff politely asked if anyone would be willing to help a pregnant passenger by changing seats. The message was calm but hopeful. Silence followed the request. People looked away, pretending they had not heard. Some adjusted their headphones. Others stared at the floor. A few exchanged uncomfortable glances but stayed seated. Anna lowered her head slightly. Her hand tightened around the strap of her bag. She did not ask again. She did not complain. She simply waited. David felt something heavy in his chest. He remembered his mother standing on buses after long days at work. He remembered how strangers had ignored her tired eyes. Those memories rose without warning. He stood up slowly. The movement caught the attention of a few nearby passengers. David walked toward the staff desk with steady steps. His voice was calm when he spoke. "She can take my seat," he said. The staff looked surprised. Anna turned quickly, and her eyes widened. She shook her head gently. "You do not have to," she said softly. David smiled in a simple and honest way. "It is fine," he replied. "You need it more than I do." The staff thanked him and made the change official. Anna was guided toward the first-class seat. People around watched the scene unfold. Some whispered quietly. Some nodded with respect. Others showed no reaction at all. David picked up his small bag and walked toward the economy section. The narrow rows looked crowded and uncomfortable. He did not stop walking. He did not hesitate. As Anna sat down in the wide seat, she placed one hand on the armrest and the other on her belly. Her breathing slowed almost immediately. Comfort washed over her face. She turned around and looked back at David. Their eyes met for a brief moment. She pressed her hand to her chest in a silent thank you. David nodded once and continued walking. He squeezed into an empty seat between two strangers. The space was tight and the air felt warmer. His knees touched the seat in front of him. For a moment doubt crossed his mind. He wondered if he had made a foolish choice. He wondered if kindness always came at a cost. Then he remembered why he stood up. He remembered that some things mattered more than comfort. He reminded himself that respect for others defined who he was. The plane finally began boarding. Passengers moved slowly down the aisle. Anna remained seated and calm in first class. David waited patiently in his cramped space. Neither of them knew that this simple act would connect their lives in unexpected ways. Neither of them knew that what came next would be far greater than a seat on a plane. The plane finally lifted off the ground, and a quiet calm spread through the cabin. The noise of the engines became steady and comforting. Passengers settled into their seats and the tension from the delay slowly faded. David sat still in his narrow seat and looked straight ahead. His legs felt tight and his shoulders pressed inward. This was not the comfort he had imagined when he bought the ticket. Still, his face showed no